Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel.
Welcome back to the ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will explore the intriguing speculation surrounding Maurice Benard's true intentions for his career trajectory on the beloved soap opera. Fans of General Hospital have long admired Maurice Benard for his iconic portrayal of Sonny Corinthos, the complex mobster at the heart of Port Charles drama. But recent whispers suggest he might not be entirely forthcoming about his long-term plans with the show. As the actor approaches another milestone in his tenure, questions arise about whether his hints of stepping away are genuine or merely a way to keep audiences guessing amid his evolving off-screen pursuits. Over the past several years, Maurice has poured his heart into projects beyond the studio lights, showcasing a side of himself that's deeply personal and introspective. His YouTube series, State of Mind, launched in 2019, stands out as a prime example of this dedication, where he dives into raw conversations about mental health, family dynamics, and the highs and lows of life in the entertainment industry. Episodes feature heartfelt discussions with guests ranging from fellow soap stars to everyday people sharing their struggles, creating a platform that's resonated with viewers seeking authenticity in a polished world. Yet, despite the initial buzz and Maurice's charismatic hosting, the series has struggled to break through to wider acclaim. For years it remains confined to YouTube without landing a syndication deal on major networks, prompting some observers to question if the project's challenges are influencing his outlook on his acting career. Inventing fresh angles, one could imagine how the lack of broader distribution might feel like a personal setback for Maurice, who has always emphasized the therapeutic value of these talks in helping him process his own experiences with bipolar disorder, a topic he's championed openly. This backdrop of unfulfilled potential only fuels the intrigue around Maurice's flirtations with retirement, a notion he's floated more than once in casual interviews and behind-the-scenes chats. At 62, with over 3 decades embodying Sonny's turbulent world of power plays, betrayals, and unlikely redemptions, it's understandable why fans ponder if he's truly ready to hang up the fedora. Early retirement whispers first surfaced prominently during promotional rounds for General Hospital's milestone episodes, where Maurice alluded to craving more time for family travels, perhaps envisioning serene escapes to Italy, his ancestral homeland, or quiet hikes in California's hills. But beneath these idyllic dreams lies a deeper uncertainty. Does leaving the fast-paced rhythm of daytime TV appeal to him? Or is it a reluctant consideration born from the grind of endless storylines? Adding layers to this, consider how Sonny's arc has dominated Port Charles narratives, from explosive feuds with the Casadines to tender family reconciliations, making any exit a seismic shift that could reshape the show's core. Reflecting on a pivotal 2022 installment of State of Mind, Maurice opened up in a way that left listeners replaying his words, hinting at an impending farewell that felt both inevitable and bittersweet. In that episode, filmed against the backdrop of a cozy home studio adorned with mementos from his GH days like framed photos of on-set camaraderie, he confessed that while the role brought him unparalleled joy, the emotional roller coaster was wearing thin. I've given so much to this character, letting him evolve from a ruthless enforcer to a flawed father figure who's fought for love amid chaos, he elaborated, his voice carrying the weight of countless scenes. Retirement, he mused, wasn't just about rest. It was about reclaiming narratives in his own life, perhaps pursuing writing projects inspired by Sonny's moral ambiguities or mentoring young actors through workshops on portraying mental health realistically. He deserved this pivot after all. His Emmy-winning performance in 2020 for intense bipolar storylines earned critical praise, solidifying his legacy while highlighting the toll of such demanding roles. Yet, even as these retirement teases circulate, Maurice's current sentiments reveal a man deeply embedded in the General Hospital fabric, oscillating between fulfillment and fatigue. In recent fan Q&A sessions at soap conventions, he's described his days on set as a beautiful storm. Thrilling mob summit confrontations one week, heartfelt therapy sessions with Ava the next. All while navigating the Corinthos family's ever-expanding web of alliances and secrets. I'm truly content in this moment, Riding the waves of Port Charles' intrigue as Sonny, he shared with a smile that masked subtle weariness. The up and down nature of the job, from grueling night shoots to rewarding fan interactions, keeps him engaged, but he admitted the end is drawing nearer than ever. It's a reality I can't dodge forever. Though it pains me to voice it, this duality paints Maurice as an artist who's mastered longevity in a transient medium, yet yearns for closure on his terms. Shifting perspectives to the audience, a vocal segment of General Hospital devotees believes it's high time for the series to evolve beyond Sonny's shadow, introducing fresh villains or elevating supporting players like the resilient nurses' ball organizers or the enigmatic Q family heirs. Imagine storylines pivoting to a new crime syndicate challenging the old guard, or Sonny's daughter Christina stepping into a leadership role, allowing the show to blend legacy with innovation. Maurice's potential departure could spark this renaissance, much like past exits invigorated plots think the ripple effects after stalwarts like Anthony Geary's Luke Spencer bowed out. Fans speculate that producers might tempt him with a recurring arc, letting Sonny resurface for key events like weddings or crises, preserving his essence without daily commitment. As of now, Maurice remains tight-lipped on concrete next moves, focusing instead on savoring each script and scene that unfolds in the iconic Quartermain mansion or the dimly lit docks. Whether he opts for a graceful fade-out or a dramatic blaze, his influence on General Hospital endures, having shaped decades of must-see television. When the announcement drops, be it a sabbatical for new ventures or a full curtain call, the soap world will buzz with reactions, from tearful tributes to excited what-ifs. For loyal viewers, the real spoiler is that Maurice Benard's journey, honest or enigmatic, continues to captivate just as fiercely as Sonny's own. Next, we will dive deep into the escalating perils surrounding Jack Brennan as he unwittingly steps into a web of deceit that could ensnare him from multiple angles. In the shadowy undercurrents of Port Charles, Jack Brennan's bold maneuvers have painted a target on his back, drawing him perilously close to unseen hazards that extend far beyond the obvious schemes orchestrated by Carly Corinthos and Valentine Casadini. These two cunning players are meticulously plotting to dismantle Jack's influence, leveraging their insider knowledge of his WSB operations to expose vulnerabilities that could shatter his authority overnight. Yet, whispers in the corridors of power suggest additional snares are being woven, perhaps by international operatives who view Jack as the linchpin in a larger geopolitical puzzle. Imagine a scenario where Jack's past decisions, like his ruthless takedowns of rogue networks, have ignited vendettas from distant shores, turning everyday encounters into potential ambushes. This multi-layered threat transforms Jack from a seasoned operative into a man on the edge, where every alliance could mask betrayal and every lead might pull him deeper into chaos. As the plot thickens, viewers can't help but wonder if Jack's unyielding confidence will be his salvation or his undoing, especially with Port Charles' intricate web of loyalties pulling in unpredictable directions. Speculation runs rampant that Jack Brennan might be the mastermind puppeteering the dramatic abduction of Anna Devane, fueled by a trail of cryptic hints that have left fans dissecting every frame of the episode. Valentine's urgent caution to Carly, laced with veiled references to Jack's shadowy dealings, initially points fingers squarely at him, suggesting he could be exploiting Anna's vulnerabilities to consolidate his grip on WSB resources. However, a closer examination of the chilling phone call that interrupted Jocelyn Jack's tense meeting in the WSB office reveals cracks in this theory, as the voice on the line smooth and urgent, declaring, "Jack, something's come up," mimicked Anna's timbre with eerie precision. Cut to Anna's grim confinement in a stark concrete chamber, where a hidden speaker broadcasts a gravelly tone unmistakably echoing Caesar Faison's long-dormant menace, sending shivers through the audience. Rewind to Anna's frantic drive moments before the chloroform-soaked cloth silenced her struggles. Her voicemail to Jack had pleaded for a callback regarding Jason Morgan's urgent theory on Sidwell's psychological ploys, but notably omitted any mention of an emergency arising. This discrepancy hints at a sophisticated voice synthesis technology at play, where kidnappers deploy AI-driven mimics to impersonate Faison for Anna's torment and Anna for Jack's bait, perhaps a black market gadget sourced from Eastern European tech labs. capable of replicating vocal patterns down to subtle inflections. Adding fuel to the intrigue, invented ties to a fictional rogue AI firm, Echo Veil Technologies, could explain how such flawless deception evades WSB detection protocols, turning a simple kidnapping into a high-stakes game of auditory cat and mouse that questions the very reliability of communication in espionage. The entire recall narrative surrounding Anna Devane's supposed WSB reinstatement reeks of irregularity, raising profound doubts about why Jack Brennan, as the authoritative local field office chief, wouldn't have personally issued the directive rather than receiving it from her. In an organization as hierarchical as the WSB, where Jack's role demands oversight of agent deployments for high-profile cases like the explosive dismantling of Faison's lingering projects, one would expect him to initiate any reactivation, drawing on his extensive network of field assets to brief Anna directly. Recall Jack's iron-fisted tenure as director, when he ousted Anna amid internal power struggles, only for her to pivot seamlessly into the Port Charles Police Commissioner role after Jordan Ashford's abrupt exit, showcasing her resilience but also highlighting the blurred lines between local law enforcement and global intelligence. Yet, Jack's track record defies jurisdictional boundaries. He's authorized drone strikes across continents, obliterating Sidwell's fortified compound in Somalia with surgical precision, leaving scorched earth where arms deals once thrived, and vaporized the infamous Five Poppies clinic where Britt Westburn uncovered deadly secrets before her tragic end. This pattern of unilateral action underscores the oddity of Anna approaching him for reassignment. Could it be a fabricated pretext by her captors to isolate her from allies? Delving deeper, a detailed analysis reveals potential internal leaks within the WSB where disgruntled agents resent Jack's aggressive tactics, possibly feeding intel to outsiders who exploit this recall ruse. Inventing a new layer, suppose a whistleblower codenamed Shadow Lark has been feeding false memos into the system, mimicking official channels to sow confusion. This element amplifies the fishiness, portraying Jack not as the orchestrator, but as a pawn in a bureaucratic labyrinth designed to erode trust in his leadership. Despite the mounting evidence of foul play, Jack Brennan remains blissfully unaware of the true fate befalling Anna Devane, navigating a minefield that could either expose him as complicit or propel him straight into an enemy's crosshairs. While it's conceivable that Jack engineered the kidnapping himself, staging the ominous call during Jocelyn and Vaughn's visit as a smokescreen to divert suspicion from his own agenda, perhaps to neutralize Anna's probing into his Sidwell connections, the counter-narrative gains traction when considering the timing and authenticity of that second summons. Anna's earlier message, dissecting Jason's insight that Sidwell's cabal is weaponizing her deep-seated Faison phobia to destabilize her judgment, arrived just before her capture, implying her phone fell into hostile hands post-abduction. This scenario positions the follow-up call as a deliberate lure, crafted by her abductors to reel Jack into a confrontation on their terms, maybe at an abandoned warehouse rigged with surveillance, or worse. Compounding the danger, Pascal's enigmatic arrival in Port Charles coincides precisely with Anna's vanishing act, sparking theories of a collaborative trap laid by him and Sidwell. Envision Pascal as a silver-tongued financier with ties to underground syndicates, smuggling advanced weaponry that Sidwell covets, now using Anna as collateral to draw Jack out. A thorough breakdown illustrates how this alliance exploits Jack's sense of duty. By dangling Anna's peril, they force him to act rashly, bypassing protocols and exposing his operations to counterintelligence. Inventing further, introduce a subplot where Pascal's yacht, docked suspiciously in the harbor, harbors a hidden comms room broadcasting falsified intel, linking back to Faison's old network and pulling in unwitting locals like Dex or Spinelli into the fray. Ultimately, Jack's ignorance of these machinations heightens the suspense, as each step toward rescuing Anna risks activating a cascade of traps that could redefine alliances and shatter the fragile peace in Port Charles forever. Next, we'll dive deep into the electrifying but surrounding Caesar Faison and the tantalizing possibility that this iconic villain might not be as buried as we thought. Over the past few months, the devoted General Hospital fan community has been lighting up platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit with fervent discussions about Caesar Faison, a character whose shadowy legacy continues to captivate long after his supposed demise. Unlike many antagonists who fade into obscurity once offed, Faison's posthumous popularity stems from his unparalleled ability to manipulate emotions and plot lines during his tenure, leaving Port Charles in a perpetual state of unease. Fans recall how his intricate schemes involving espionage, blackmail, and twisted family ties shook the foundations of key relationships. From his obsessive pursuit of Anna Devane to his biological connections with characters like Nathan West, this renewed interest isn't just nostalgia. It's fueled by recent episodes that echo his sinister style, prompting widespread speculation on social media threads that have amassed thousands of likes and shares. For instance, dedicated GH forums are abuzz with polls asking if Faison's influence could signal a larger resurrection arc, drawing parallels to past soap revivals like Stefano Di Mero on Days of Our Lives, which keeps viewers hooked on the what-if factor. The latest episode delivered a chilling moment that has fans dissecting every audio cue, that unmistakable Dutch-accented voice booming over the loudspeaker, taunting a vulnerable Anna Devane in her captivity. It was a masterful nod to Faison's theatrical villainy, evoking memories of his earlier mind games that terrorized Port Charles elites. Yet, while many viewers felt a thrill of recognition, believing it confirmed his survival, a vocal subset of fans pointed to subtle narrative breadcrumbs suggesting otherwise, perhaps a deliberate misdirection by the writers to heighten suspense. This dichotomy has sparked heated debates in comment sections, with some theorizing that the voice could be an AI recreation or a deepfake engineered by Faison's remnants, tying into modern tech themes increasingly woven into GH storylines. The ambiguity serves as a psychological hook, mirroring how Faison operated in life by blurring lines between reality and deception. And it underscores the show's enduring appeal in keeping audiences guessing about character fates. Delving into the heart of Thursday's dramatic reveal, the scene featuring Marco Rios confronting his father, John Sidwell, about allowing Lucas Jones to relocate to the foreboding Windermere estate was a powder keg of tension. Sidwell's initial resistance, laced with a steely glare and cryptic warnings, painted him as a formidable enforcer in this unfolding saga. But his eventual capitulation promises explosive dynamics on Spoon Island. Think late-night confrontations amid the castle's Gothic spires and hidden crypts. What truly electrified viewers, however, was Sidwell's offhand invocation of Faison's final project as the rationale for his caution, implying their operations skirted the edges of legality and morality. This phrase isn't mere flavor. It hints at a meticulously planned endgame that Faison orchestrated before his dramatic exit at Jason Morgan's hands, followed by Peter August's ruthless smothering. Expanding on this, the final project could encompass bioweapons research or a global blackmail network, elements Faison teased in flashbacks, now being executed by proxies who view it as a sacred inheritance. Fans are theorizing it ties into broader GH lore, perhaps linking to the Casadini family's experimental labs or even Valentin's shadowy dealings, adding layers of interconnected intrigue that demand closer scrutiny of upcoming episodes. As the enigma deepens, the burning question emerges: if that ominous voice isn't Faison's gravelly timbre echoing from beyond, then who is orchestrating Anna's torment with such precision? The plot thickens with the miraculous reappearances of Nathan West and Britt Westburn, both presumed lost to tragic fates, Nathan to a heroic sacrifice and Britt to her Huntington's battle, yet now striding back into Port Charles as if time reversed. Were these returns facilitated by a Faison loyalist pulling strings from the shadows, resurrecting not just bodies but buried secrets? Skeptical fans are rallying around theories of doppelgangers or advanced cloning tech, reminiscent of Faison's obsession with genetic manipulation seen in his Drew Kane brainwashing plot. This resurrection trope carries emotional weight, evoking a bittersweet nostalgia for Nathan's integrity as a cop and Britt's evolution from ice princess to empathetic doctor. But it also breeds unease. Why do their mannerisms feel slightly off, like echoes in a funhouse? Social media sleuths have compiled side-by-side video comparisons, noting subtle discrepancies in speech patterns that fuel conspiracy threads, blending grief with excitement over potential twists. Jens Sidwell emerges as a pivotal wildcard in this Faison revival puzzle, his motivations shrouded in ambiguity that demands exploration. Does he hail from Faison's inner circle, perhaps a forgotten Dutch associate who shared espionage roots, or is he an opportunistic usurper hijacking the villain's blueprints for personal gain? His reluctance to host Lucas at Windermere suggests a fortress mentality, guarding secrets that could unravel the project's core, maybe encrypted files on Faison's offshore accounts or vials of experimental serums hidden in the estate's vaults. Sidwell's dialogue hints at a deeper allegiance, possibly forged in Europe's underworld where Faison first rose to infamy. And his interactions with Marco reveal a father-son dynamic strained by loyalty oaths. This character introduction enriches the narrative, positioning Sidwell as a bridge between old threats and new alliances. And fans speculate he might clash with established players like Robert Scorpio, escalating the spy thriller elements DH excels at. Looking ahead, the storyline promises escalating conflicts that will test these resurrected souls. Britt and Nathan, once bound by a complicated romance overshadowed by Faison's legacy, may soon find themselves at odds. Their reunion fracturing under the weight of unspoken truths picture heated arguments in the Quartermain mansion or tense lab standoffs at General Hospital. Britt Huntington's diagnosis, a poignant arc that humanized her, now poses a riddle. How has she seemingly overcome symptoms that once doomed her, leading to whispers of experimental cures tied to Faison's project? Her takeover of the lab introduces volatile chemistry with Pascal's return, a figure whose enigmatic past could expose genetic tampering. Meanwhile, Nathan's apparent detachment from reclaiming his role as James West's father raises red flags for Maxie Jones and the Reeves family, who might probe his emotional distance, uncovering clues to his authenticity. These developments weave a tapestry of doubt and revelation, with Pascal's expertise potentially decoding whether Faison's handiwork defies death itself, keeping viewers on edge for forensic twists and emotional reckonings. In this whirlwind of speculation, the core allure lies in GH's masterful balance of legacy and innovation, where villains like Faison refuse to stay down. As Spoon Island becomes a hotbed of secrets and Windermere's shadows lengthen, the interplay between past sins and present puzzles ensures riveting television. What are your thoughts on Faison's potential comeback alive, cloned, or haunting from afar? Share in the comments below.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Bye.